We'll start now. Number one. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome once again. Thank you, everyone for joining this wonderful session. Really appreciate you for actually coming on board and joining once again to actually get educated on Canada immigration. So I really appreciate everyone for joining this wonderful session once again, and I don't take it for granted. I appreciate that you want to actually learn and you choose to start be part of this live session again. For those who don't know, I'm Aziz from A.O.S abroad, and every week, at least once a week, at least we come on live. Sometimes it can be more than once a week. It can be two times or three times a week, but we come on live to actually share our own insights as regards Canada immigration, our own insights as regards moving abroad. It may not even only be to Canada, but because yes, I'm in Canada currently, that is why we would always say okay, centered on Canada. But sometimes we can talk about other countries. Similarly, today we are going to be referring to the U.S. and we would also be referring to Canada because the topic I want to talk about today is very much linked to not just Canada, but is linked to, I would say, the North American axis. Is linked to Mexico to start with, is linked to United States of America, and is linked to Canada. So basically, this is a topic that touches on the three main countries: Mexico, United States, and Canada. Though I may be focusing more on Canada, but I just want you to know that some of these changes or some of these rules and regulations that we have been seeing that Canada have been bringing up is not only something that is, you understand, prevalent to Canada alone. In fact, it is also going to be, just like we have been seeing in the news, you would also be seeing something similar to it in the US, you understand, from Mexico and places like that. So if you are one of the immigrants who want to actually relocate to Canada or to go to the US, or if you are even coming from Mexico, then you have to actually listen to some of this. Okay, Tripura 492 6. You are on Instagram, you're saying hi. Oh, okay, you said hi. So hello, how you doing? How's everything? Thank you for joining Tripula. Really appreciate. So I'm greeting you also. Hi there. So, as I was saying, I said we are going to be talking about some of the changes or some of the things that we have noticed in when it comes to Canada, when it comes to immigration, and we are going to be giving you some insights, some nuggets about what. Okay, Austin Matthew is saying wa alaikum salam alaikum. Okay, wa alaikum salam, Austin Matthew. So for those who don't know, we are on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube live right now. And if you're joining us from YouTube, then of course you know that I'm going to be showing you some slides, though we cannot really show slides here right now. But as we are talking, I believe you are going to also be joining from here. So Austin Matthews is saying, "Where is the fufu? Which fufu is that? Which fufu do you give me that you're talking about?" All right, maybe you made a mistake there. But moving on, today we want to talk about the new rules of immigration, new rules of visas, and new rules of, you understand, having or getting access to enter country because a lot of things are happening in the immigration sphere. In fact, sometimes it is quite difficult for us to follow up. But again, we have to be more informed, more than even now, more than even before, because if you are not really informed, you are just going to be lacking a lot of information. You are going to be lacking a lot of insight, and you will not really know how to follow up to be able to, at the end of the day, come to Canada or, you understand, go to some of these countries successfully. So, let's talk about the new rules that Canada specifically has actually introduced to strengthen their temporary resident documents through cancellations and border security and integrity. Now, this is a big one. This is a big one because, in fact, I would say many of the things we have been saying right now, we have not really had some of these changes ever, at least for from the time I have known Canada, we have not really been seeing some of these changes as we have been seeing it this year. Do you understand? So many things have been changing, many things are being introduced, many things are being paused or cancelled or closed, or you understand? Now we are not just even saying closed programs, we are saying cancellations, as they are saying. They can more or less cancel. But before I even let the cat out of the basket, let me read out from the Canadian immigration website. Let me read out what they stated, you understand, to from Ottawa, which for many of you know is the federal, what they call it, capital city. Do you understand? And Ottawa on February 12th. If you look at February 12th is this week. You understand? Is this week basically. So from February 12th, we have had some changes, or let me say, we have had some updates that Canada have been giving us back to back. And February 12th, for those that is like this Wednesday, this last Wednesday that just went, they have been giving us some things that we have to actually know about. We have to educate ourselves about, so that we are not just left in the dark, and we are much more informed. So if we look at that now, we said for those that are joining on YouTube, you see that I actually have this on the slide. We said Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada (IRCC) updated Canada's immigration and refugee protection regulations. For those that are in the, what they call it, immigration sphere, you know that they will call it the ARPA. You understand, the ARPA or the APA. Some people call it APA. But basically, um, this, when they say they updated something, especially for the regulations, this means that it is now more or less enshrined into the law of immigration. Do you understand? Because what the visa officers always look into, you understand, to make judgment on what to do and what not to do, is actually based on the immigration and refugee protection regulations. Do you understand, the ARPA? So if we look at that, it's not something that you can say is not going to be effective. It will be effective because it's already on the regulations. It's something that they have updated as they stated on their website, and it's something that henceforth they are going to actually be making use of. So they said IRCC updated Canada's immigration refugee protection regulations to strengthen authorities to cancel temporary resident documents. This is a big one. Now, what do they mean by to strengthen? That means to give people the authority. You understand? To give maybe like visa officers the authority, maybe like CBSA, though we are still going to read it to be able to know what exactly what they mean by that. Do you understand? So basically, immigration officers, border officers, you understand, they are giving them the authority right now to what? To cancel. Do you understand? So let's say, for instance, you struggle to get your study permit, you have gotten your study permit, and you are now wanting to get access, get entry, get to enter Canada. For some reasons or the other, it may be cancelled. And we are going to learn what are some of these reasons, so that we get educated and we don't fall victim of some of these updates. Now, so they said they can cancel temporary resident documents. Temporary resident documents. And for many people, you may be asking, what are temporary resident documents? Well, I believe they are still going to inform us about what temporary resident documents are. But just to give you a kind of intro to what they may be talking about, yes, temporary resident document. When they say someone is a temporary resident in Canada, basically that is someone that is not staying here permanently. That's the word, the opposite of temporary is permanent, right? So when they say you are a temporary resident, it all means that you came here to stay for either some few days, you understand, or to be here for a few weeks, or for a few months, or even up to some few years, and go back to your what? Go back to your country or to your country of residence. So basically, what that means is that if you came here through visit visa to study, to visit for some few days, if you came here to for, I mean, through even tourist visa, you understand that you came here for some few months, or you came here as a student through international through study permit as an international student, or you came here as a temporary foreign worker under the work permit. You understand? They are saying that they are giving the authorities the power or the authority to cancel what? temporary resident document. Now, some people may be asking that why are these changes coming up right now? Well, I'm not the government, I'm not working for the government, but we can actually look at what is going on in the world today to kind of decipher what is actually happening in Canada right now. If you, for many of you that know, you know that the U.S. have been I've been talking so much about Canada. About firstly, I heard on the news how Donald Trump is saying he wants to make Canada the 51st state of the United States. You understand? We have, even though we have been hearing a lot of, you understand, back and forth about that. Also, we have been hearing about the tariffs. You understand? He has been saying or talking about how our borders, the Canadian borders, are lax. You understand? And not strong. Like everybody are just, many people are just entering the border. You understand? Different complaints, different issues have been cropping up. So it may not be out of place to say that some of these changes we are seeing may be also as a result of some of these complaints or issues that are actually cropping up. But I just want you to know that just as this is happening in Canada, of course, we have been seeing the U.S. counterpart of in country. We have been seeing them also strengthening their own borders. We have been seeing them, you understand, deporting people. We have been seeing them, you understand, different news articles coming up about what is going on in the U.S. as well. So it's not something that is only prevalent to Canada. That's why I'm actually saying that. So they are telling us that these changes, what changes now? This changes as a result of, you understand, as a result of the cancellation of the temporary resident document. They said these changes give immigration and border services officers explicit authority to cancel electronic travel authorizations, ETAs, you understand, and temporary resident visas, TRVs, on a case by case basis. Now let's decipher that to actually start with. If we look at that, they are telling us that immigration service officers, who are immigration service officers, visa officers, immigration officers you can meet at the port of entry, you understand, border officers, that's the Canadian Border Security or Service Agency, you understand, officers, the CBSA officers that you are going to meet at airports, at seaports, and land ports, and other ports like that. Do you understand? They are giving them the full authority, full power to what? To cancel ETAs, electronic travel authorizations, for those that are citizens of a country that don't really need visas to enter Canada. You understand? And temporary resident visas, TRVs, for those countries that require what? That require visas to actually enter Canada, like Nigeria, for instance, we require visas to come into Canada. So what they are saying is your temporary resident visas could be cancelled on a case by case basis. Why? Including when, okay, they are giving us some instances, because it's not just going to be fair to just cancel something without you doing anything. So they are giving us instances to back up when is it plausible, when is it a possible scenario, a possible circumstances that can make what your visa cancelled. They say one, including when there is a change in a person's status or circumstances, making them inadmissible or no longer eligible to hold the document. Now, they said, for example, the person provided false information, one, or the person has criminal history, two, or the person is deceased. That means the person has died. So, any of those reasons, if there's a change in your personal status as a result of you being inadmissible to Canada, I think we have talked about inadmissibility before, but just to kind of introduce you to it, when they say you are inadmissible to Canada, what it means is that there are several factors, there are several reasons, but what some of it can mean is that either you have a medical illness, do you understand, that is going to put a strain on the Canadian foreign funding for healthcare. Do you understand? Or two, whether you have a criminal record, and that criminal record is a record that is really seen as something grave or something you understand, serious in Canada, and something that they would feel threatened. The Canadians will feel threatened as a result of you. You understand, being in the country. Do you understand? Just like they said, you have a criminal history, or you are deceased, or will be deceased one way or the other, because someone that is deceased cannot be watching this. So deceased, maybe person has already died, and of course that person cannot actually want to come into the country again because it's dead already, basically. So they have the authorities now, the authority now, immigration and border agencies, they have the authority to cancel, you understand, whether be it your study permit, whether be it your work permit, whether be it your visit visa. Do you understand? Once you come in, you understand, or you are wanting to come in, and some of those situations actually um, works on you, or you understand, some of those situations affect you. Now, that's the first scenario. The second scenario is that it's they can cancel it when an officer is not satisfied that someone will leave Canada. You understand? By the end of what? By the end of their what? Of their authorized period of stay. Now let's break this down, because this is very, very important. It's very, very important. If they feel that you are a threat to Canada, that okay, you said you want to come into Canada and visit your family members and stay here for 6 weeks, and they feel that, oh, when this person is entering, you are already at the airport too, or maybe you are about to board a plane, or you are about to leave, or even if you are already inside the country, and one way or the other they just see that okay, this person doesn't want to leave the country as after his authorized period of stay, they now have the full right to what? To cancel that visa that you have, that you feel that is still valid for you to be able to stay in the country. They can cancel it. Do you understand? They can cancel it, and basically once they cancel a visa, then you are no longer authorized to stay in the country. And once you are no longer authorized to stay in the country, they can deport you. Basically, they can deport you. Do you understand the idea? So what they are trying to say is that if an officer feels that this person doesn't want to leave this country, oh, this person will not leave this country after the period of stay that has been authorized by IRCC has been granted to the person. Even if you enter the country for one day, you say you stay for 6 weeks, but they feel that in that one day that you have entered, God forbid it should not happen to anybody, but in that one day that you have entered, you're already analyzing. You came in as a visitor, but you're already analyzing that okay, I will go and study. Once I will study, okay, no, I will work on, and your purpose of visit was for you to tour the country, for you to visit tourist attraction center. But you're not talking about that. You're talking about how you study, you're talking about how you work. They may feel that yes, this person has satisfied the condition that shows that you are not willing to leave Canada at the end of your authorized period of stay. And as a result of that, they can what? They can cancel your visa. And once they cancel your visa, basically you can be deported back swiftly to your country. So that's the second reason. Let's talk about the third reason. What's the third reason why they said yes, they have given an officer an authority to cancel, you understand, visas and authorizations? One, the third one rather, the third reason is if the document is lost, one, if the document is stolen, two, if the document is destroyed, three, or if the document is abandoned. Now those are four reasons combined into one. Okay, they gave you study permit, and that study permit is always like in a paper form, like in A4 paper, this kind of A4 paper. Though sometimes it's not even like A4 paper, but something like this, sha. You understand? Something like this. So they have given you. You now say, okay, oh, you have it, but you cannot find it. You have the document. They have authorized you to come into Canada, to stay in Canada. But they now ask that, okay, where's your study permit? You can't find it. Or your work permit. Your village people, they follow you come to Canada, and the village people go and thief your work permit. Now, in that situation that your village people thief your work permit, or maybe you have a child, then now your child now do your knowingly o, because sometimes it can be mistake. Is especially a small child. The small child is just looking at paper that you put on the table carelessly, and just look at the table, see your work permit abi your visitor and not know that it is something that is valuable, and just tear it. Yeah, that person have destroyed your visa, or you have destroyed your permit. You understand? Or a situation whereby there is burning, there is fire, hazard or something, fire shall happen, ojono, your passport, the place where your visa is on the passport, you go and catch fire, e burn. Those kind of reasons may cause the visa officer or the border officer to see this one as, this one you are not serious, we give you something that is valuable, visitor visa, work permit, study permit, we give you something that is valuable, but you go and destroy it, or you abandon it. Maybe for instance, we have had all this lost but found that they always do. They give you kini, you are so happy and joyous that you have entered Canada. The paper of your study permit or your work permit, you now see it. They help you see it on the floor. Maybe in the airport when you are going, you forget, you take your bag, you forget your visa, you abandon your what? You abandon your visa or your permit. That can cause what? Them to cancel your permit. It can cause them to cancel your visa. It can cause them to see you as someone that is not serious and take back what they give you. Do you understand? So these changes, all these three changes, remember, the first change is if you were inadmissible to Canada, or you gave false information, or you have criminal record, or you are deceased. The second reason is if the officer is not satisfied that you leave the country after your stay in Canada. The fourth is if your document is lost, stolen, destroyed, or abandoned. All these changes, it also enables officers to cancel your what? Your TRV, your temporary resident visa, your ETAs, your electronic what? Travel authorizations, your work permits and study permits issued to you. You understand? Issued to people. You understand? Issued to people when it can cause them to what? To issue to people when they become a permanent resident, when they are deceased, or when the document was issued based on an administrative error. You understand? It enables officers to cancel your TRVs, your ETAs, your work permit, study permit issued to people when they become a permanent resident, when they are deceased, or when the document was issued based on administrative error. Do you understand? Now, the amended regulations came into force. This is the one where it became so interesting. Even though they gave us this news was in, like, this news from when they said it, they said Ottawa February 12, 2025. That was when we saw it on the Canadian immigration website. But the amended regulations came into force on January 31st, 2025. So it's not that it's even coming into force later on in the future. It has been in force, you understand, since time passed, since 12 days ago, or in this situation, because I'm recording this around February 15. So around 15 days ago, basically. And have been published in the what? In the Canada Gazette too. These changes enhance the integrity of Canada's temporary residence programs and are expected to strengthen security at the border and within Canada. Now, this answers the question why, or it kind of gives clarity on the issues we have been hearing that happens at the border, the issues we have been hearing that happens at the airport. the issues that we have been listening to, that we have been getting across to other people. Do you understand? That we have been hearing from people coming into the country. That you entering the country through the airport does not mean that you will be allowed entry into the country. It's a different ballgame entirely. They can allow you and your plane or your air flight to enter the country. You can see the airport. Beautiful airport. But if they follow you come, they can send you back at that airport. So you just see the airport, fine, beautiful airport, fine, fine, but you may not be able to enter the country fully. So my people, why are we saying all these things? We are saying these things for our brothers and sisters. Whether you are from Nigeria, you are from Africa, you are from Asia, you are from any other place, and you desire to come into this country, Canada, please and please, Sagbejemowo, as the Yoruba will say it. Shogbae, as the Yoruba will say it. Focus on your business. What is your business when it comes to immigration? What is your business when it comes to travel? Let me give you your business so that you know what you are meant to be focusing on and what you are not meant to be focusing on. The first thing you are meant to be focusing on is to ensure that all the documents that you submitted or you are submitting or you will submit for Canada visa, make sure they are legit. You understand? Make sure they are valid. Make sure there are no errors in the document, whether the ones that were altered by you or altered by another person, because it's you that it will affect. Even the other person may not affect the person. It's you that it will affect. So make sure that the documents you are using for applications are legit. Do you understand, my people? Ensure that you don't have any medical illness that is going to be seen as life-threatening to Canada. There are some illnesses, there are some diseases, there are some sicknesses that you have it, no issues. Someone that have asthma, for instance, you have asthma, you cannot remove asthma from the body, or let me say, at least, I don't know, maybe they can remove it in some parts. But basically, some of some of you may have hereditary something. Do you understand? Ulcer. You know all those one is not, well, if it is not chronic, it will not be life-threatening. Do you understand? But we're talking about life-threatening disease, like heart failure, like which one is another one? Like kidney disease, like cancer, like all those ones that there are some stages that okay, yes, they can still be monitored, but there are some stages that is now chronic. That's what we are trying to talk about. Chronic illnesses. And you can go on the Canadian immigration website, canada.ca, and you can just even type it on Google. Chronic illnesses that can lead to inadmissibility in Canada. Visa inadmissibility. You will see it. Do you understand? So make sure that you don't have medical inadmissibility issues. That's number 2. Number 3, what is number 1? I say your documents, make sure they are valid, they are legit, they are authentic. That's number 1, that you submit for visa. Number 2, make sure that you have good health, you don't have medical issues. Number 3, don't have any criminal record. It's better to not even have anything that you now have something and you're not trying to correct it. You understand? Or trying to erase it, or trying to serve the term of the name, and at the end of the day, it's not for to go to that. You understand? Don't even have it. It's better. When they see your criminal record and they see that, oh, this guy is clean, no criminal record, it's better. No criminal history, is better than you now having something and you now having to explain. You go explain tire. You go explain tire. So don't even have it. And of course, don't be deceased, don't die. Even though you cannot do without that one. When the time is right, it is right. But what they are trying to say is that if you want to come to Canada, don't die before you come into Canada. I mean, don't die after you have come into Canada. Come safely and go back safely. And how will you avoid death? Don't have to do something that pass your head. Even though sometimes, and many people still die in their sleep. So it's not a matter of But the one that you die, that you not gonna even cause wahala, if someone even die in his sleep, it's better. But don't go and die that will die you again. This is my English today. How will die you again? How die will die you again or kill you again is when you use your own death to affect another person's death, or another person's sickness, or another person's accident or something. Driving under the influence, that's a good one. DUI, DUI. Driving under the influence. Under which influence? You drink pami, gegemu, ọtí, beer, spirit, gin, all those alcoholic drinks, or you go and shark, you drink, you smoke, you do everything that is not good, it can affect. Because if you have a record that you were driving under the influence, it's a big offence, in Canada. So ensure you avoid those kind of, if you want to come into Canada safely and not have any issues for them to not cancel your authorization or your visa. Do you understand? And see, study what the visa officers can ask you. That's the fourth thing, the fourth idea I'm giving you to avoid cancellation of your visa. Study what visa officers can ask you before you come into Canada. We have once done it, especially for our clients. We explained, we gave a lot of examples of questions that visa officers can ask you. We gave you examples of what can happen. We gave you examples based on the Canadian immigration website and some other sources, you understand, and some other things that we have witnessed ourselves, whether at the airport or other of our clients have witnessed. We have given examples of some of the questions you can be asked. You understand how you can answer truthfully and confidently, because there is a difference. You can answer truthfully but not be confident, and it cause wahala, because sometimes even truth sef have k-leg. Truth, if you say truth and you are not confident about your truth, there may be wahala. But if you say truth and you are confident, the two have to go together. Don't be confident on lie. That is not good. That is a bad thing. Don't lie and be confident again, especially when you are not confident but you have already jargon. But you are not confident to a fault. Don't be confident like that. Say true thing, correct thing, and still have confidence on top join. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So make sure that you know the questions that you can be asked at the port of entry, after the port of entry, when you even land in Canada, after you have already been in Canada and you have been enjoying Canada. Make sure that once you are stopped by an officer, you know what you are meant to say, you know what you are not meant to say. That's another thing. It's not everything that must be said. It's not everything. In fact, I like Canadian immigration or Canadian officers, not even immigration, because I don't think I've even been seeing immigration officers. Canadian officers, police officers, for instance, that I see sometimes when I'm driving. Sometimes, there was one time I was holding a parcel, you understand, of food, that the Canadian police officer said, "Oh, it's yummy, right? Hi." He said, "It's yummy, right?" I said, "Oh, yeah, of course. It's very yummy." Answer the question they ask you. Sometimes, because I saw the officer in front of one condo building. Do you understand? One apartment building. I don't know, they were like police cars. Two police cars and three officers. And they were looking. There was another one that was parading. I said, person wey no fear, abi person wey no get crime no go fear. Abi, me I carry my food, I dey go my own. He say yummy, right? I say yes, it's yummy. He's asking, is it yummy, right? You say, abi you go and say something that I don't even know what you can say that can complicate you, abi implicate you, but you try to say something that not tally with the question they ask you. Wahala. Do you understand? Because they may be looking for someone, but you're already saying, I did not come to meet you. I am coming. So, I mean, you can't say something that is not sha related. I know idea is not coming to my head. You will affect yourself. You will cause wahala for yourself. So the question they ask you, answer. Answer it the way a normal person will answer. Yes, because sometimes you can answer the same question the right way, but you no answer the way that the normal person could answer, because they ask you, is it yummy, they asking you for food, I ask, am I safe? It's not tallying. Do you understand? It's not tallying with the question they ask you. So learn on some of these things, you can train for it, because sometimes you being innocent but not being able to back up yourself may even cause you wahala. So you have to be tactical, you have to be informed, you have to know your rights. That's one other thing. Know your rights. There are some times that I'm driving, that I will see police car coming from the back. Wee 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 wee. It will be doing siren. Wah. All those siren, I no dey like dey hear am, but once I hear it, the law is take your car and yourself to the farmost right. Do you understand? Move to the right, because they already have a mission they are going for. You understand? For them to be on that siren and the light and everything. But you dey not know your right. You are driving, but okay, I know I'm an innocent boy, but you are blocking the view of police. You are blocking the way of police. You have caused wahala for yourself. They can find you. Or you see, what they call it? You see school bus coming, and school bus have already stopped. E showing light, red light. Is, you understand, is on in it, off in it, on in it, off in it, on in it, off in it, flashing the light, the red signal. And you say I no kuku seen anybody, I no cause anybody wahala, you gats be driving. No, the law says you wait. You understand? There even in that particular meter you have to wait in front of the what, or at the back of the school bus. You must, unless they can fine you 1,500, 2,000 Canadian dollars. In Nigeria naira, that's like 1.5 to 2 million naira, if not even more. So because I no stop, I'm happy 2 million. Me, I cannot do that one kind of thing. How much all the money I've been collecting go for Canadian government, is it up to 2,000? So I will stop. So what am I trying to say in essence is that know your rights, know the rules and regulation of the country you enter. The fact that you entered as a visitor with your own driver's license in Nigeria does not mean that after 6 months you can still drive without license. If they even give you authority to drive when you first entered, by virtue of, okay, maybe they have some agreement with your country, and yes, they say, okay, the international driver license you bought from Nigeria or from your other country is allowed to drive. You have to know till when. There's some like driver license, there is just 3 months validity. After 3 months, if you are driving with it, you have caused wahala for yourself. You understand? So know your, because these are some of the things you may be looking at. Okay, how is driving related to immigration? You may be looking at, you that do not have criminal record in Nigeria or in Canada or in U.S. or in any country you are coming from, Ghana and in other places, India. You now come to Canada. It's not Canada that will not give you criminal record because you feel that, oh, the way it happened in Nigeria or in India is that anybody can drive. In fact, you can drive anywhere. You can drive one way. You can drive. Come and try it here. They give you criminal record, and as soon as they give you criminal, especially driving under the influence, DUI, or something that is, they can deport you fast and cancel your visa. That this one is not serious. This one take maybe is third world country that we are. So avoid all those things. And how will you be avoiding them? Be well informed about your rights. Be well informed about the rules and regulations of the country you are coming into. Be well informed to not do something that is what? That is against the law. Do you understand? So basically, they say IRCC will continue to improve their processes and invest in tools to secure the Canadian borders and protect Canada's immigration system. Let me tell you something. The truth about immigration is that it will continue changing. In fact, I remember before we came, it was changing. After we came, it is still changing. In fact, for many people that are jeopardizing, whether by will or by force, when you go, it will change again. When you come, you see different things. Because why? Change in life is the constant thing. It's a constant thing. You can't see whether you try to fight change or not. At the end of the day, it will happen, whether by your will, by your acceptance or not. So you have to understand that instead of me trying to fight change, instead of me trying to avoid change, how can you make use of that change to better yourself? How can you make use of that change in such a way that it will work for you and not what? Not against you. Do you understand my people? Are you feeling some of the things I'm saying? These things, it may be looking as like something, but you have to understand some of these things as we are saying it. Understand it so that you will not be caught off guard. You will not be what? You will not be caught off guard. Your visa, once you have it, is going to be on point. When you are coming in, it will be on point. When you are everything will be on point, that you make sure that before they say Kai, you say you just Kai. When you know you're right. You know what you came for. You know that it's not shey thing you are here for. Themselves, they will understand that this one doesn't want any gbegbe story. Leave this one alone. You understand? So my people, in all seriousness, Canada immigration is getting more difficult. Just like American immigration too. Even though, of course, as I just said, like I said in the last session too, we have an immigration lawyer, you understand, that can also assist you. We have an immigration lawyer for Canada immigrations differently, and we have another immigration lawyer for U.S. immigration. And one of the things they have been telling us, especially the one that is even in the U.S., he said, yes, people are getting scared more about immigration now. But the truth about it is, people that are wiser, people that don't have anything to fear, or people that they know that they have what it takes to be in the country, they are still getting into the country, even with all the changes. They are still saying it that there are some people that they are still working with. There are some people that are still getting their visas. There are some people that are still getting their permits. So it cannot be all that worst. It can't be all that worst that okay, because it is they are changing the policy, they will not. No, people are still entering the country, people are still leaving the country. So you just have to now understand that how is the game of immigration being played now? What does the country really need me to actually adhere to? How can I make sure that I align with the policies that are changing, the rules that they are setting, so that I get to achieve what I want to achieve? It's all about that. Let me give you a particular scenario, a particular story. I remember COVID-19 time, pandemic time. In fact, 2018, far back as 2018, when I started working on immigration, I was not serious. I do IELTS. That time I already have band 8.0. I say, oh, sure, that's why this thing easy. And people have been saying it's difficult. I say, it's easy, Jayema, I no disturb myself. It's when I did French exam, after some months, as I fail, I say, oh, me wey be say I dey teach French, I still fail French. I fail French exam. I say, oh boy, it don dey happen. I was discouraged. Say, oh, let me leave this thing that I no dey do again. But oh boy, when pandemic, lockdown, strike 2020, I humble. Let me say hunger wire my head. Hunger. I understand the difference between say it's not a play thing and it's a play thing. When I knew the difference between Nigeria àti pé Wàjíríyà, Nigeria, Wàjíríyà, you will know the difference. And when we see Canada and ó lè dà ní Canada fún ẹ, you understand that okay boy. So that time, COVID time, e show me that oh boy, you fit do business for Nigeria, but when business do you, there's a difference between doing business and business doing you. When business do you, you will know that oh boy, this Nigeria last no be place where be say you go do physical thing, physical structure, get physical academy, and don't have some baba sale. Because I know baba sale, I know that yes, there was life in between life. There was life after business. there's a waye, you understand, afterlife. So at the end of the day, I had to what? I had to leave business in Nigeria and focus on immigration. But what did I want to say? That was the time that it was not even possible to enter Canada easily. 2020 pandemic, because of course they have locked down the thing now. Lockdown have happened now. That time they were not even focusing on people outside Canada. The focus was people inside Canada. Even people inside Canada, they were having to stay at home. The exam that I was doing in 2018 that I just get skinny, I was able to do it 2020 because of course even in Nigeria sef there was lockdown. And that was a change that was drastic. A change that in fact nobody saw it coming. When COVID first landed, they say shebi àwọn China you don jejekuje. Shebi all those Chinese that it's not go dey be oh boy àfi tó bá máa dé lọ́la ló kù. Ó dé lánàá, ó dé ní ọjọ́ yẹn. It happened live that time. So immigration was not easy, but the fact about it that people don't understand that it was not easy does not mean it will not be easy. It was not easy or it was difficult that time does not mean it will continue being difficult. Okay, thank you Zeke. Thank you for liking my live on TikTok. Really appreciate it. So that does not mean that it will not be easy. You know the funny thing, one thing I realized about immigration, especially that time around COVID, was that many people have forgotten about Canada. Many people are focused on another thing in their life. For us then, that was when I now started preparing for French exam again. I started preparing for IELTS because that time IELTS, it was 2 years validity now. The one I wrote 2018 and expired 2020. The one I do 2020 ending, I did not pass it well like the first one. So I had to wait again and prepare again. 2020 go again. Nothing. 2021, they started inviting people, but they don't even focus on us. It was 2022. That was when I got my IELTS again after 3 attempts. I got my French after 3 attempts, and I now work on immigration. Do you understand? But let's say me to have already say, oh, change now, they have changed all these things, so it's not more possible. I wouldn't have had that opportunity when they now opened immigration for other people from other countries to get selected. So this time that changes are happening because of Trump, because of border, because of all those things, this is the time you are meant to be preparing. This is the time that you are meant to make sure that your documentations are getting ready for when they will start inviting people in mass again. Ayobami, thank you very much for liking. This is the time. You understand that you have to start working towards immigration labele if you want to immigrate to, because again it's not by force. To immigrate is not by force. That's the truth I always tell people. Now in fact last year I did not have sense. When it came to immigration journey I did not have sense, because yes, I always tell myself, I always used to remind myself, I was trying to do it as if I was forcing people to come to Canada. Even my family members, thank you very much. My family members, you sent a gift. Thank you, Ayobami. Really appreciate you. Thank you for the gift. Really appreciate you. So my family members said that I was trying to help that time. I not see. I just realized that you can't force people to come to Canada. But if they are really willing to come to Canada, you will make sure that now that it's been difficult, you'll be what? You'll be working towards getting all your documentations right. You'll be working towards making sure that it is, you understand, it is feasible when all these changes are what? When all these changes have actually been leveled down. Because, see, let me tell you, there's always a trend that I found out in immigration. And it's not only immigration to Canada, even immigration to the U.S., the U.K. See what happened now? Okay, look at that U.K. instance. Let me give you instance of the U.K. The U.K., they were saying they were not accepting dependents before. They said they were not accepting dependents, spouses, children, and everything and everything. When they see that even the enrollment it went down, people were not getting visa again as before. The statistics, everything died down. They started again. You understand? After some time, they say, "Oh boy, if we continue like this, we no go make money." Because immigration is business. I don't know understand this thing. Immigration is business. And what is business all about? Business is about making money. That's just it. It's about business is about two things: making money and what? And avoiding losses. Avoiding what? Avoiding losses. Saving money. Not what? Not wasting money. Because that's another thing. You must not waste. And if you waste, you have to waste for a good cause so that you can make more money. That is it. So when they saw that yes, immigration, people were not working towards immigration again, you understand, everything have died down, they start inviting people. The policy that they do that time that they say they are not accepting, now they are. Do you understand? So all these things that Donald Trump is doing in the U.S., that all these ones are doing in Canada, at the end of the day, you will see they are the ones that will start to keep begging people to come again. It's change. That is another thing. That's another change. You know, some changes are negative and some are positive. But the truth about it is, after some negative changes, you will still see some positive changes. It is fact. It's not a that is the pattern of life. Bad moments or bad season will not continue always. There will always be good seasons. There will always be good seasons. Oh, thank you, Ayobami. I see another rose. You sent another rose to me. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Bad season will not always continue. You understand? So there are many of our clients. I remember there are some of our clients that we have worked with that they say, okay, Canada is already stopping immigration. In fact, I'm not more interested. Send me my money. Some people have been giving them refunds. We have been giving some people refunds. But again, there are some people that have been staying back. There's one of our clients now. He's on the express entry pool already. He already has like 450 points. You know, those are people that sometimes you realize that this kind of person that has not even been selected, even after having so much high points, you say this person will not be discouraged. He's even the person that is not even saying, "Oh, how can we build this point again? How can we, you understand? How can we talking to our immigration lawyer, looking at ways he can actually get himself to, you understand, boost again to have the opportunity to be seen." You see that kind of sensible person. You understand? Even though, of course, the ones that ask for a phone too, they are sensible. So people should not be saying I'm abusing them. They are sensible. What I'm trying to say is, it depends on your level of commitment towards immigration. Just like I told you, a typical story that happened to me. 2018, I worked on immigration. I was not. I was discouraged for some time. I no absence for some time. When I later absence, in a pandemic have struck. After pandemic time, I say okay, with the suffer wey I suffer for Naija, I go get sense again. I get sense after some time. You understand? 2022, I now have sense and now work on it. But even that 22, when I started working on immigration, when I've got my IELTS, my TEF Canada result, everything, you understand, my WES and everything, they still didn't pick me. You understand? Or let me say they picked me, but they have not yet said I should come. They have not yet given me the visa. They just gave me invitation. You understand? I had to keep on working on it till 2023. When they now what? When they now issued me the visa. And funny enough, when I started, see how life works. When I started 2018, it was only me that started. It was only me that was working on immigration. 2019 came, it was still only me. 2020 came, that's when my beautiful, wonderful common law partner came into the picture. We always say it jokingly that time that maybe it was her that I was waiting for before I came to Canada. Maybe it was her I was waiting for to finally take my life serious. You understand? So at the end of the day, she came 2020, and as God could have it, 2021 it was a little bit difficult for us, but 2022 we're making the grades. You understand? The CIS point, I think my CIS point shoot up to like 493 after adding our own. You understand? After adding our own documentations, our own IELTS and everything, it shoot up to 493. With that 493 points, we were picked by 2 provinces. We applied to 4 provinces actually. We applied to Saskatchewan, Prince Edward Island, Quebec. Yes, we did the Quebec skilled worker program under the ARIMA portal. And we have applied to Ontario using the express entry profile, and British Columbia, all the provinces basically on the express entry profile. But Ontario picked me under the French speaking worker program, you understand, under the Ontario PNP. And Quebec also picked me under their RSWP, their regular skilled worker program. And as they say, the rest is history. I later left that of Quebec and focused on Ontario immigration. And as you would guess, before you knew it, see all those times, 2018 to 2023. Yes, some of the things that we have said online, we said yes, within 6 months, some people can get immigration, permanent residence. It's true. It's not that we are lying. We have seen people that have done it before. Me, I didn't do it like that. It did not work for me like that. 6 months, it didn't work. I've told you my own journey, 2018 down to 2023. That's when I worked on my own. But again, the fact that my own took longer like that, years, that does not mean to take other people years. So that's why sometimes we have said the best scenario is that just like what the Canadian immigration portal stated, it's not even what me I stated alone, is what the Canada immigration website stated. Federal skilled worker program, even till this month sef that I checked last, they said 6 months. It will take you 6 months to process what federal skilled worker program under the express entry for permanent residence. So it's not even what me I say, it is what the immigration website stated. But some people, 6 months may not work for you. Do you understand? 6 months didn't work for me. I've given you my own scenario, it didn't work. But if 6 months does not work, even if 1 year does not work, are you now going to be discouraged? No problem. If you have another country to go, be my guest. In fact, I do always tell people, someone is telling me that which other country can I go to apart from Canada? I said me, based on the statistics that I see online, Canada is the second best country in the world to go to. The first best world country is what? Switzerland. So if you want to go to Switzerland, or if you can go to Switzerland, no problem. If you have the opportunity to get a Swiss passport, no problem, go. Do you understand? No problem, you can go. But if you don't have the opportunity, then you may come to Canada. And it's not even compulsory. Just like I said, U.S. is there. Nobody fit go Mexico. Well, some people go, funny enough, because even Canadians sef, they leave this kind of country. Some of them go to Mexico to go and chill. Some of them, at the end of the day, you see that them too, they go and relocate there. So yes, people can go to Mexico too. It's not. Some people go to UK, France, Belgium. There are a lot of places. Finland. You understand? A lot of places you can go to. Ireland. But if you want to come to Canada, just like even all those other countries you are going, changes too will happen there, whether I like it or not. Some changes may favor you, some may not favor you. But once those changes come, are you going to decide to stay there, to continue there, or will you decide to leave there and to, you understand, move on to the next country that you feel is perfect? Just like I say, no country is heaven. No country is perfect. But of course, Canada is better than many countries. So if you want to come to Canada, if you feel that you have what it takes, or you are willing to do what it takes, because there's difference. Some people don't have what it takes now, just like some of our clients that we have seen that don't have what it takes when they got started. But they are working towards making sure that they have what it takes later on to come to Canada. And those kind of people, of course, they can later make it happen for themselves. And if you are part of those who you don't have what it takes, you are not willing to do what it takes, my brother, stay in your country. Stay in your what? In your country. But you don't have what it takes, you are willing to do what it takes, then you can visit our website. And of course, we can assist you with some of the ways towards your immigration. Do you understand? If you really have what it takes, if you are willing to do what it takes, then you can reach out and would of course be of service to you. And Any other ones you need our immigration lawyer to assist you with, we can of course also link you up to our immigration um, lawyer. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope you got value from all what we talked about today. If you have any questions, drop it on the comment section. We would really like to hear from you. I'm putting down our website right now. You can visit our website for any information as regards coming into Canada, especially as a permanent resident, just like I did. Do you understand? And you can also reach out to us if you would want to. Do you understand? Basically, make sure that you also achieve your immigration to Canada as quickly and easily as possible. So thank you very much once again. Really appreciate everyone for joining. I don't take it for granted. If you have any questions, even after this session, you can always drop it on the comment section, and we'll do justice to responding to it as soon as we get it. And don't forget to also go on our profile. You understand, whether be it you are joining on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. Don't forget to go on our profile, visit our website. Do you understand? And also ask your questions. Do you understand? Try to reach out to us to watch some of our live webinars that we have added there, which are basically for free, that can educate you more on immigration and coming into Canada or other countries, and how you can also become a permanent resident of Canada. So thank you very much, everyone. We do really appreciate you once again for joining us. Do have a nice day ahead. Bye for now. Au revoir.